So I went to the Mac store the other day with my brother. He dropped his iPhone into a sink full of water and it exploded into 37 different varieties of useless. He might as well have dropped it into a sink full of molten lava. That's how well it worked afterwards. So we sauntered into the Mac store and 3 things immediately caught my attention. Number 1, it was the most barren store of its size that I had ever been in. I know that the people over at Mac would probably like to call the design of their stores minimalist, but that's just a fancy word for empty. You could have played a game of tackle football in that store without disturbing the merchandise. Number 2, there were a ton of people in the store, which initially led me to believe that this store was a rip-roaring success. But then I realized that only about 5% of the people in there were actually shopping. About 70% were there to get their iPhones repaired, just like we were, and another 25% were just there to exploit the free internet under the auspices of wanting a Mac. Number 3. Everything in the Mac store is ludicrously overpriced. No computer is under $1,000, and no iPod is under $100. Even the software was overpriced. Software that you could buy for $10 for PC would cost you $30 on the Mac. I looked up and down that store, and I could not find one item in the entire place that would run you less than $20. Now, when it comes to Mac products, I am of 2 minds. There is the rational mind that says this stuff is ludicrously overpriced, and the PC equivalents are just as good and more cost-effective. There is absolutely no reason to purchase any product sold in this store under any circumstances. But then below that rational mind is a more simple mind. A mind that just looks at everything in that store and says, "Ew, it's so shiny, I want it!" Yes, my subconscious is a flamboyant homosexual. A PC is just a big utilitarian box of wires and chips, whereas a Mac is like sleek and beautiful and sexy, and it looks so plastic, but not like cheap plastic, like sexy plastic. Like a big set of silicone breasts or something. But they're so sleek and magnificent, and I know that inside they're the same essential chips and wires that are in a PC, but they just look so much more gorgeous. You just want to f*** them. Another thing I noticed about the Mac store is that the employees might as well be butt plugs, because you cannot get them out of your ass. Welcome to the Mac store. Can I help you find anything? What are you looking for? Would you like to hear about our new iMac all-in-one with ultimate display? What kind of iPod best suits your personality? These people are not salesmen. They are cultists, and they are trying to indoctrinate you into the religion of Mac. Steve Jobs died for your sins. Bill Gates? More like Bill Gates of hell! I feel sorry for them, though, because it's obvious from my time spent in that store that they deal with a lot of stupid customers. Like, when I was in there, this angry 60-something-year-old man just stormed in the store, like, walked past all the sales reps on the floor, and slammed his hand down on the counter and said, "I want an iPhone! Isn't there anyone here who can help me?" And the guy at the counter, he was pretty cool. He's like, "Yes, sir, anyone in one of the blue shirts on the sales floor can help you out." "I don't see anyone like that! Can't you help me?" And of course, the funny thing was, there were 3 people exactly like that, right behind the guy. They finally convinced him that he could go talk to one of the salespeople on the floor, and he walked like halfway towards a salesperson, and then changed his mind, turned around, and went back to the counter to bitch some more. Even better, the guy really didn't sound like he even knew what an iPhone was. He just wanted one. "I want one of them iPhones! I don't care about this hibbity-jibbity mumbo-jumbo. I ain't got time to fill out no papers. I don't need to learn nothing. Just give me one and I'll be on my way." That's how we used to do it back in the old days. The only other thing I have to say about Mac is that the putting a lowercase I before everything is getting kind of stupid. iPod, iPhone, iMac, iTunes, I don't care anymore. Come up with something new. How about Z? Z is a nice underused letter. Z-Phone, Z-Mac, Z-Tune, Z-Pod. Actually, that just makes everything look sleepy. Like it's Z. Maybe a J, because a lowercase j looks an awful lot like a lowercase I. It just extends a little further down. The J-Phone. Nah, because then when you see it, you want to say J-Phone. So I guess the I's are fine. Z-Phone, Z-Pop. Quit laughing, what the f***? Don't laugh at my comedy routine. It's wrong. What's that? Don't break my concentration.